or the most formative years of a child's life is between 0 and 7. You can push it to 8. And those are the years that the child would learn how to communicate with others, how to solve problems, and, generally how to be social and all of that. So if you miss those years, then, it's going to be an issue. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Jamaica Roots TV. Hope you're all doing well today. Thank you for liking the video and thank you for subscribing as well. So we're going to be looking at, crime and violence and the inner city, the issues right now in the inner cities that the government should put a laser focus on right now. So we're looking at a news report that says the U.S. government is going to be giving Jamaica $30 million. So that's about a little over $4.5 billion Jamaican, that is, right? So some of the things that I would like to see happen, and I'm sure the residents of the towns, most of these towns, inner cities, would love to get some life breathe into them, right? These inner city communities, just to go back a little bit into history, they started building Kingston around 1840, right? And then the homes came after. So these homes, Raytown, Jonestown, Trenchtown, Whitfieldtown, Hannahtown, Craigtown, Rosetown, all these towns were built around the end of the, say, 1890, 1900. They start to build these homes. So these homes are over 150 years old. Let's just put it at that, right? And a lot of these homes and communities have not seen any type of upgrades. They need a lot of upgrades: the water, the sewage system, electricity, the roads. They need more community centers. Some of these communities have nothing for recreation for the youth and for the children. I'm looking at is road and streets need upgrading. We need street lights. The roads have big potholes. Some of the roads are buckled. Like, it's been there so long that it just buckles. Things need to be addressed. You need stormwater drainage, sanitation, potable water, solid waste disposal, and this is a burning issue. They need a lot of proper receptacles in these low income areas or no income sometimes for some households, right? The garbage is just put out in whatever and it's open and it's not a pleasant sight. And the garbage truck, it's not, they will tell you that their garbage is not picked up on a regular basis. So that needs some attention as well, right? And there are a lot of areas where there's dumping going on. And of course, sometimes people just go over there and light the garbage and stuff like that. But as you know, it's an environmental issue. They're saying not to burn the garbage. So if we could get the garbage picked up on a regular basis and provide proper receptacles for the garbage in the inner city communities. Water seems to be a major issue. It's always an issue in Jamaica, but for some reason, the inner city are faced with a lot of issues with water. There is a tank. It's in, I would say 1112th Street near to, it would be on the border of Arnett Gardens. It is like near to 12th Street, 13th Street area, I think. And you can't miss that tank. That tank has been there for years. And the residents are saying they don't think any water, like it's not being used. It's out of service. So if the National Water Commission could have a look at this tank, maybe try to find out if there's an issue with it, if it's not working, because this tank could supply a lot of water to the community. So if we could get that up and running again, that would be great. Okay. The next thing is rainwater harvesting. So rainwater harvesting is what you would see your parents put out, like barrels or drums or whatever they had to catch water, right, when the rain falls. So that's called harvesting. So if you get some more receptacles for water specifically, sometimes when the water is not available in the homes, then of course they would have these receptacles to go to, right? If it's possible, that would be a great thing. Recreational activities, they need more field, like an area where the kids can go and basically just burn off some energy. They do, like, some communities don't have anything, as I mentioned. There is in Jonestown, there is one in Arnett Garden, and they could do with some other, like maybe a skating rink or music room or something like that. The Admiral Police Station has a recreational center. I think it's the Enid Anglin Community Center. That could do with some upgrading as well. And if they could get some musical equipment, because Jamaicans, they're musically inclined, and if you could get some equipment there, someone from the community who knows music or knows how to play an instrument could do it maybe once a week with the kids, right? The ones who are interested in music and the ones who are, have other interests could do something else. There's an open field right across from the police station. If the government could come in and do something with that. There's also a park. It's a small park. It's been there for a long time. It was meant to probably just sit and relax, but I don't know if people go there and relax. If they do, that's great. But I'm just saying that could they use that space for something else, right? And the open area in front of the police station, they could use it to do something for the community in terms of recreation, right? If the kids like to play basketball, whatever the kids are doing these days, right? I don't think there's a lot of interest in cricket in the youth, but you never know. They could do probably a vote and see what they want there. But that open space has been there for a while, many, many years. And there are other communities like Whitfield Town. You drive into these communities and they don't have anything in them. No recreational facilities available. I'm like modern stuff, right? If they have, I doubt they do. But if they have, it's nothing modern. And they need some upgrades as well in terms of the clinics that are in these communities. If they don't have a clinic, they should have one. There's so many things that these communities need. If you go into some of these communities, you'll see a lot of abandoned homes. And basically the owners have just left these properties for years, 50, 60, 70 years, maybe going further than that. And it just becomes derelict, and it's a safety issue as well, right? When the buildings are left like that. So if they could go in, I've seen a lot of people, they want to get titles for these homes and they don't know how to go about it. So if they could do an information session and give them the tools they need to find out how they're able to get these homes into their names, because they've been living there 20, 30, 40 years, right? And it's taking such a long time to transfer a title. So a lot of these homes, as I mentioned, people leave, they go abroad, and they never return because of crime and violence in these areas. So there's so many places that just needs some life to be breathed back into them, right? And we're trying to get the children, right, the young ones, before it gets too late, into something that can occupy their time after school. We're seeing a lot of violence in school. We're seeing all types of things going on. in school, right? And there is a lot of talk that music does not make you do this and music does not make you do that. And please put in the comment section, because we all know that music does have an influence on the mind, especially a young one. We just fail to want to acknowledge it. Those of who don't want to acknowledge it, we're just like hiding behind the truth. That's what I think. We're just hiding because we know. If you hear, all these destructive lyrics, you're gonna go there and do destructive things. Some people are stronger than others, but the young minds is impressionable. It's impressionable, and they're carrying out these acts. You see them doing whatever they're hearing, like in the music. They're taking that into schools. I would give the Minister of Education a suggestion. Any child who comes to school with a weapon, or comes to school and fight another student or fight the teacher, that kid stays home and do online learning. Because there's no way you can jeopardize other people's children with other kids coming into the school with weapons. And we all know how that can end. I'm just wondering if they have thought about the consequences. Like you just hurt somebody and you just go home and sit down. Do you think that's where it ends? You're gonna be tried by the courts, right? Your life is gonna be living hell. If you get a criminal record, 90% of companies, they won't touch you, right? So you're just hurting your own self when you try to bring weapons to school, trying to hurt others. Gone are the days when if you have an issue with someone and they want to like physically fight or whatever. Now it's ramped up to weapons, right? And we are all hearing that a lot of the kids are now doing a lot of scamming, and their parents know that they are scamming, and they're not doing anything about it, because that kid is now making huge amounts of money off someone else's back, of course. And you know that this scamming thing, it leads to numerous problems, right? It's just a whole host of things that's going to happen once that child becomes involved in scamming, right? And my take on the guard ring situation, these rings are not guarded, because we all see what happens. Someone is wearing a ring and they're involved in an accident. If the ring had any power, wouldn't they be saved? People are wearing guard rings. It does not work. It's foolishness. I don't know how they're caught up in all these things, because they're listening to the music. I said they're young and their minds are impressionable. So they're just copying exactly what they're hearing, right? And the parents, I know that there are parents who really, really try. But there are other parents who tend to be a little bit docile. They just can't be bothered. And the child just does, whatever they want, and they go to school, create havoc. They come home, they do whatever they want. It's like they're out of control. And a parent should step it up and put rules down, and it's not too late, right? Get someone in, get a counselor, pastor, someone to speak to your child.